All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. Tonight we are once again with the Leave the Pack Gauntlet series for their season finale here at the Hickory Motor Speedway. We are going to be going 150 laps in the super late models. Right now these guys are finishing up practice rather. They've got about 10 seconds left, and then we will run through our qualifying session. These guys will be given 2 laps to put down their best qualifying time, and then we'll start them straight up from there. We've got a points battle coming into tonight's season finale. Brandon Atkinson leads by just 25 points. As I'm looking here through the drops, Elvis is going to be pretty close when it's all said and done, so we'll try and get everything sorted as quickly as we can post-race to determine a champion. But it's now time to qualify here. First driver out on track. It's going to be the number 2 machine making his return to the Gauntlet series. We haven't seen him in a little while. Down into turns 1 and 2. It's a good run out of turns 3 and 4. A 14:31 first lap time for Connor Knowlton, the driver out of Hebron, Connecticut. The Just the Top Media Elite Performance Industries KST Graphics number 2 comes around second time around, a 14:01. It'll be a little bit quicker, but he'll be in the 3rd spot for right now. Easton Swain on lap 2 in the 33. We'll see if he can improve. Currently in the 2nd spot. It looks like he will slow down his 2nd time around. Brian Gravel completes his qualifying run, 7th quick for him. The driver currently leading the point standings right now, Brandon Atkinson. 3rd quick on lap number 1. What can he do on lap 2? It looks like he will slow down just a little bit. The first lap definitely looks like the better lap here tonight in the Super. We'll see what Murphy can do in the 29, the driver out of Oakland, Maine. First lap time for Zach Murphy, put him 4th quick. The 14 flat. Hard into the gas out of turn number 4, but he'll slow down on his 2nd lap. Carter Hollingsworth in the 28 machine, sideways across the line right there, but going to be good enough for the 3rd spot on his first lap. Braxton DeWeese in the 8 machine comes around to complete lap 1, 11th quick, first time around for the 8. Beautiful blue on that car here tonight. Gonna be able to see it from anywhere on the racetrack. 2nd time around for DeWeese. He'll move up a couple spots into the 8th position. As now we have just a few more cars left to qualify. Adam Fulford in the 71 takes the green flag, and I believe he is the final car to qualify. So we'll see what Fulford can do. The time to beat is a 13.95 from Brandon Elvis. White flag for Fulford. A 14:01 put him 6th quick for the 71. Final time out of 4, pushed up the track a little bit there. Looked like he's able to hang on to it, but going to slow down on his 2nd time around. So Brandon Elvis going to pick up the pole here in qualifying. That's going to be 5 bonus points, which is exactly what he needs to take the championship from Brandon Atkinson. It's going to be a very close one here. Right now, the difference is 25 points, but these guys are given one drop week. And it looks like in that drop week, I believe there will be 3 points in favor of Elvis. Once they drop one out. We'll have to see post-race, though. It's going to be an interesting race. They don't have a set of tires in the pits, so they're going to have to keep the tires on the car all 150 laps. The setup does not drive the best. These guys are on an iRacing fixed setup, and if you are on iRacing, you are no stranger to the fixed setups and maybe driving them over an extended period of time. They aren't the best for these long races, but I think it's going to make for a fun race here tonight. As qualifying finishes up, it is time for us to go green flag racing here in the Super Late Models. The final time this season at the Hickory Motor Speedway. We're going to finish it off in the Supers, ready to kick things off for next season. Season 2 of the Leave the Pack iRacing League Super Series, returning December 2nd. It's going to be a big, big series where we have open setups on Tuesday nights, so definitely going to be something to keep your eye on as we get closer towards the month of December. But now we go trackside to look at our starting field. On the pole, going to be the driver second in the points, going for another Leave the Pack championship here tonight. Brandon Elvis in the 54 machine. He will roll off next to the 33 of Easton Swain. Swain actually sitting in the third spot in points. He is mathematically out right this second, but still a good run in the third position. Carter Hollingsworth picked up a win this season. Gonna roll off. Or sorry, did not pick up a win this season. Got the leagues mixed up there. Carter Hollingsworth going to roll off from the third spot with the points leader, Brandon Atkinson, to his outside in the 15. Zach Murphy in the 29 going to roll off from the 5th spot here tonight. And he'll have the 71 of Adam Fulford to his outside in the 6th position. Connor Knowlton in the 2, going to start from inside of row number 4. To his outside in the 8th spot, it's going to be Matt Bordrin in the 00. Braxton DeWeese in the 8 machine, going to roll off from the 9th spot. And he'll have Kyle St. Jean in the 55 to his outside. Steven Oberstadt in the 3 machine, going to roll off from the 11th spot here tonight. He'll have Brian Gravel in the 22 to his outside. Justin Coleman going to be on the inside of row number 7. And he'll have Nick Giampa in the 46 to his outside in the 14th spot. And Kyle Heinzelman is going to round out our field. As the pace car pulls to the safety of pit road, the green flag will wave, and we are going to be underway for 150 laps here at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Down the back straightaway for the first time, Brandon Elvis going to take the early advantage. Easton Swain and Carter Hollingsworth battle for the second spot back behind. Leader of lap number 1 going to be Brandon Elvis. They continue to battle for the second spot. It looks like Hollingsworth going to be able to get clear for P2. Here comes Murphy trying to fight for P3. Tough break for Nick Giampa down into the grass here in turns 1 and 2. I'm not sure what happened there early on, but problems for the 4 machine here early. As DeWeese goes around on the front straightaway. There was a stack up on the exit of turn number 4. Not sure what happened. Let's take a look. Let's see. This is coming out of turn number 4. Looks like he got maybe tagged from behind. Let's see. don't know if there was really anything DeWeese could have done. So DeWeese bringing it pit side here. There are a couple drivers pit side. Connor Knowlton in the 2 machine down pit road. Matt Borndren bringing it pit side as well. As Borndren may have some damage on the left front of that race car. Really can't see with the angle that he's pulled into the pits right there, but it looks like the left front's kind of down on the ground. We'll see if he can get back out before we go back racing. So this time by, we will go back green flag racing. The lights drop on the iRacing.com pace car. Brandon Elvis going to roll off next to Carter Hollingsworth in the 28 machine. We'll go racing down into turns 1 and 2. Pace car drops to the bottom side, and through the restart zone they go. Good jump from the 54 of Elvis, and we're back underway. Elvis going to be clear for the lead. Now Murphy and Hollingsworth battle for the second spot. It looks like Hollingsworth going to be able to hold on the top side. And he will take that second spot. Here comes Brian Grable to the outside of Adam Fulford in the 71. We've seen this outside lane come into play all season long, and you can see right there, Fulford's able to get the big run up off the corner. And that's the key, that's the key here at Hickory. You have to keep your momentum up. And that's what Grable is trying to do right here. And look at the run the 22 machine is getting up on the outside of the racetrack. He's able to pull Fulford on the exit of the corner, and he will take that spot away out of turn number 2. Move Grable up to 6th. Up 6 positions. He started 12th in this one. Didn't have the best qualifying effort, but he's trying to drive forward early. Ooh, almost contact that time, and there is contact. Heinzelman around in the 57. And that's going to put us under caution. Heinzelman gets it back rolling. Let's see what caused that here. I think St. Jean might have gotten into Coleman up off the corner. Let's try and get a look from the previous lap. There was a little bit of contact right there, and it looked like everybody just kind of checked up. Connor Knowlton got into the back of Kyle Heinzelman. There wasn't really much Knowlton could do to go on board. Yeah, they all kind of checked up there. I think everybody's going to be able to continue on, though. So Elvis going to continue to hold the race lead. Hollingsworth 2nd, Murphy 3rd, Swain 4th, Atkinson 5th. Brian Grable up into the 6th spot. He's the only driver that we've really seen move throughout this field. Up 6 spots. And we'll see what he can do here on this restart. That outside lane's definitely got something here early on. We'll see if it continues to be the preferred lane. I think it will be better at the end. We'll see as the race plays out. Pace car is back off, and we're ready to send them back green. And the green flag is back out. Back underway, 19 laps in. Elvis leads them down into turns 1 and 2. Murphy and Hollingsworth battle side by side down into turn 3. Hollingsworth on the outside lane, trying to get the run up off the corner. It looks like he's going to have a nose out in front down into turns 1 and 2. And down the back straightaway, Hollingsworth peeks out ahead of Zach Murphy. Couple cars side by side. Grable working on the outside of Brandon Atkinson, your points leader as well. Grable trying to hold that 15 down as tight as he can, and he will take that spot, move Brian Grable up into the top 5. Zach Murphy still working on the inside lane underneath Carter Hollingsworth. Neither driver really able to pull ahead just yet, and it looks like Hollingsworth that time into 1 and 2 gonna have the spot. As they continue to get single filed out here in the top 5. Brandon Elvis leads. Kyle St. Jean side by side with Steven Oberstadt. Oberstadt in the other blue 8 machine. We got a couple of 8s tonight. Both the color blue. As this battle continues to unfold, it looks like Oberstadt going to take the spot on the outside lane. Here comes DeWeese trying to make a trip up to the outside. Back up front, Brandon Elvis continues to show the way. He's got Carter Hollingsworth back behind him. Look at the lap times from that last time around. Everybody pretty close throughout the field. And they were close in practice. It's going to be a matter of who can keep the tires on it the longest. There's not going to be too much strategy, but can anybody knock that 54 machine off of the top spot? Hollingsworth in the 28, starting to get a little bit closer. You see him right up behind your race leader. And look at the difference in the lines that they're running. Hollingsworth moving up the track a little bit, trying to find a little bit more grip to drive it up off the corner. As Brian Grable puts the move on Easton Swain, and he will take that 4th spot. We'll look out for that 22 machine here. Up 8 spots already. We're only 31 laps into this race when they get back around. Through turns 1 and 2. Once again, Brandon Elvis only has about a car length advantage over Hollingsworth as they cross the line. But man, Murphy right there in the 3rd spot, all over the back bumper of Hollingsworth. He's got Brian Grable looking to his outside too. 22 machine looks pretty quick here tonight. We'll see if that's something that he can continue throughout the race. Remember, these guys don't have a set of tires in the pits to save them. You're going to have to make this set last, as they're all nose to tail through turns 3 and 4. Here comes Zach Murphy to the bottom, making the move underneath Carter Hollingsworth, but Hollingsworth with a big run down the back straightaway. Able to hold that spot. Ooh, they checked up off of 4 right there. And this is a great showing of how much of a difference the line makes here at the Hickory Motors Speedway. If you get into the corner a little bit higher up and try and cut the straightaways, it can really find something later in these races, and that's what a couple of these guys are doing. Trying to cut the car down, run a little bit different. We look a little bit further back. Kyle St. Jean back to the inside of Steven Oberstadt. That's for the 8th spot on the racetrack. And he will take that spot. Connor Knowlton going to try to follow through on the bottom. Side by side. Knowlton on the low side. Oberstadt up top. Nearly contact there out of 2. As up front, here comes Zach Murphy taking another peek to the inside. Hollingsworth way up the racetrack, but he's getting these big runs down the back. And now Zach Murphy trying to make something happen on the bottom side. This is the best run we have seen so far from the 29 machine. And one person that is loving the battling that we're seeing right now is Brandon Elvis, who as soon as these two got side by side has escaped to a 3 to 4 car length lead. As Hollingsworth falls back to the 4th spot. Now under fire from Easton Swain. And Hollingsworth will drop back to the 5th spot. He'll try to get back down in line in front of Brandon Atkinson. And now Zach Murphy going to take the charge for the 2nd spot. He will try to track down this 54 machine. So far this season, Elvis has 2 victories. Brandon Atkinson has won the last 2 races. So it's been the Brandon and Brandon show here this season. Now Brian Gravel on the back bumper of Zach Murphy, putting some pressure on for the 2nd spot. Down the back straightaway, Elvis only leads by a couple of car lengths into 3. We have been green since that 2nd caution flag. So a bit of a longer green flag run now. We've got 14 cars on the lead lap. Matt Vorndren just 1 lap down. But man, look at how many cars are nose to tail down into turns 1 and 2. One driver trying to go forward, Connor Knowlton. In the 2 machine underneath Adam Fulford. Everybody running so close. If one of them touches one, there's going to be a lot of contact made. Deweese looking to the inside of St. Jean as well in the 55. Lots of battling on the racetrack further back outside of the top 5. Man, Fulford and Knowlton really close there. Down into 1 and 2. Knowlton trying to make that pass, but just looks tight on the bottom side coming up off the corner. As, ooh, Brandon Atkinson in the 15. Brandon Elvis continues to show the way. Inside of 100 laps to go. So the pressure's on. Not quite to halfway yet, so you don't go full bore just yet. As, oh, Steven Oberstadt in the 8 machine brings it pit side, and I think that's going to be the end of the night for the 8 machine. Tough break for Oberstadt. As up front, Elvis shows the way. Brian Gravel all over the back bumper of Zach Murphy in the 29. You see they're really slow rolling these corners, trying to get a run. As Murphy in the 29 machine off the pace, he's got problems on the exit of turns 1 and 2. I'm not sure what happened to the 29. Trouble for Zach Murphy. He was running in the 2nd spot, and he's brought that machine down pit road. I'm not sure what happened, but tough break. That's going to hand the 2nd spot over to Brian Grable, and the caution flag flies. Kyle Heinzelman in the 57 machine was around on the front straightaway. I'm not sure what happened to the 29 of Murphy. Trying to listen in on the chat. Let's take a look at what happened to the 57 of Kyle Heinzelman. He was running out back in the 14th spot. Looked like the bumps out of 4 may have just gotten him a little bit. Looped it down into the inside wall. And brought it back to pit lane. Go on board for that one. Like I said, listen to it going over the bumps. You can see it on the screen right there. As soon as it hit those bumps and he tried to get into the gas pedal, around it went. So the caution flag is back out for the 3rd time here tonight. Look at our field on the left side. We're just shy of halfway. Elvis has led from the drop of the green flag. "67 laps in. We are going to send them back green flag racing. We'll see what Brian Grable has for your race leader, Brandon Elvis. As they head through turns 3 and 4, the pace car is back off. Good jump from the 54, and we're back underway. Elvis leads down the back straightaway. Hollingsworth is going to take the 3rd spot from Swain. The field tries to get spread back out here. Brandon Atkinson underneath Adam Fulford. That's for the 5th spot. And if Brandon Elvis can lead just 5 more laps, he can secure 3 more bonus points for leading the most laps in the race. Here comes Connor Knowlton in the 2 machine on the outside this time of Adam Fulford. He's trying to make that pass on the low side. See if he can get it the long way around, which has definitely looked like the easier way to pass if you can run the lane right. Ooh, there's contact there up off of 2. Fulford, the 71, had to get out of the gas a little bit there. He's going to lose a spot to DeWeese as well. Justin Coleman also going to try to take advantage on that outside lane. Next time around, it'll be halfway in, halfway home for Brandon Elvis, which will secure him 3 extra bonus points, which is going to be crucial if he wants a shot at the championship. Atkinson's running in the 5th spot, so it's going to be very close if they were to finish right now. But this time by cross flags, halfway in, halfway home. 75 laps in, 75 laps to go for Brandon Elvis. Easton Swain in the 33 machine. A big save right there. They somehow kept that green. Got tagged down into turn number 3. Was able to hang on to it there. Atkinson all the way back to the 8th spot in the 15. And that's going to be trouble for his championship hopes. He's the leader right now. But he's got to finish up inside of the top 5 if he wants to secure this championship. Back up front, Brandon Elvis continues to show the way. He's got Brian Grable right on his back bumper. Brandon Atkinson able to get by Justin Coleman for the 7th spot on the racetrack. He will try to charge his way back forward here. The time is starting to run out now that we're past the halfway point. Elvis continues to show the way, and there's 3 cars behind him that are very quick here tonight, that are ready to pounce on the race lead. Brandon Elvis has led the most laps, which gets him 2 extra bonus points, and he has led a lap, which is another bonus point. He's the only driver to score that bonus point here tonight. At this point, 85 laps in. Brian Grable and Carter Hollingsworth are right there on the back bumper of the 54. But have not made a move just yet. Matt Borndren gets by Nick Giampa. It looks like the 4 machine is going to come pit side. 87 laps in. Tough break for the 4. Grable in the 22 machine. Starting to get some pressure from the 28 of Hollingsworth. There's about 4 car lengths between him and race leader Brandon Elvis. How about Connor Knowlton in the number 2 machine, working his way back up through the field. $90 laps in this time by, 60 laps to go for the 54, Brandon Elvis. We're riding on board with the 2 machine of Connor Knowlton right there. This gives you a good look at what these drivers are going through. These cars are not driving very nice at this point in the run. They're up on the wheel, really having to put a lot of effort into getting the car to rotate and come up off the corner nicely. Everybody is still pretty close on lap time. Look at them that last time around. All of your top 5 right there in the 14.8s. Continuing to put pressure on the 28 of Carter Hollingsworth for the 3rd spot. Elvis a little bit quicker than Grable that time, able to get some separation between the 2. But Knowlton looks pretty quick here late in this run. He's trying to find a way to navigate around 28 of Carter Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth hasn't been able to get much of a run built up to try and pass the 22 of Grable. Remember, he was battling with Zach Murphy quite a bit early on this race. This time by for Brandon Elvis, lap 100. Going to go up on the board and into the books. It'll be just 50 laps to go for the 54 machine. Trying to lead flag to flag here. Still looking all over the back bumper of Hollingsworth. And oh, Hollingsworth up in the outside wall. Into turns 1 and 2 that time. That's going to allow Knowlton to scoot by on the bottom side of the racetrack. Hollingsworth not really going to be able to defend too much. So move Connor Knowlton up into P3 here with 47 laps to go. That time a little bit quicker than your top two. See if you can put some pressure on Brian Grable and try to take over that second spot. Check back in on Brandon Atkinson, your points leader, currently running in the 7th spot. He's been having a hard time getting around Braxton Deweese in the 8 machine. So here comes Connor Knowlton looking to the inside of Brian Grable. Grable's able to run it up off the top and get that run built up, but Knowlton wants that spot. Find a way to the inside. Big lunge to the bottom. Almost contact through the center of the corner that time. Grable keeping that 22 machine pointed on the exit of the corner, but Knowlton's starting to roll the bottom side. Dead even at the line that time, and look at the gap that Brandon Elvis is getting now. One of these two has to figure out who's going to go forward. I think Knowlton may have the better car at this moment, but he can't complete that pass just yet. Down the back straightaway, Grable pulls ahead by a nose going into turns 3 and 4. And man, look at the gap that Brandon Elvis has built up. It was only about 0.6 of a second, and he's already opened it up to 1.3 seconds. So it looks like this time through turns 1 and 2, Connor Knowlton going to take that spot from Brian Grable. Here comes Easton Swain looking for 4th underneath Carter Hollingsworth. And oh, contact for Hollingsworth. I think he got loose up off the corner that time. Got up into the outside wall. Meanwhile, up front with 45 laps to go. Sorry, 35 rather. 35 laps to go for Brandon Elvis, who continues to show the way. Connor Knowlton back behind him, running just about identical lap times. But not able to close the gap in just yet. We will see if Brandon Elvis is able to hang on to this one. Right now, lap time-wise, I think he's going to be able to. But we'll see if we stay green. Right now, we've got 30 laps to go when they come back around. Straightaway, you can see the gap that Elvis has built up. Knowlton in the second spot. Brian Grable continuing to hold on for third right now. Really looks like he's fighting that race car. He's got a line of cars on his back door. Easton Swain taking a peek to the inside of the 22. Swain in the 33 down low. Grable up top. They've got the points leader, Brandon Atkinson, right back behind them as well. Atkinson's up into the top 5 now. I believe it's going to be enough to hang on to the championship. But with all of the bonus points that Elvis is racking up, we're going to have to see. There was a little bit of contact there that time from Easton Swain. Kind of moved the 22 machine up the racetrack just a little bit. And Swain going to move up into third. Brandon Atkinson up into fourth as he gets around Brian Grable. We've got 25 laps to go. Definitely looks like the tires may be getting a little bit hot for the 22. Up the racetrack he goes, going to fall outside of the top 5 now as Coleman passes him on the inside. He'll drop back down in front of his teammate, Carter Hollingsworth. Out front, Brandon Elvis continues to show the way. Connor Knowlton is cut some out of this gap, but I don't know if there's going to be enough time. 22 laps to go. Elvis went an 87. That time Knowlton went a 91. It's kind of been back and forth these past couple laps. Just about to 20 laps to go. Elvis trying to pick up his third victory on the season. But will it be enough for the championship? That's what we're going to have to find out. You got to remember the qualifying points that Brandon Elvis acquired. The bonus points from the race. It's definitely going to be down to the wire. They have a drop week factored in. But we'll have to see. 17 laps to go for Brandon Elvis on the season. We'll watch our points leader try to get around Easton Swain, and you never know, this position right here could be what makes or breaks the championship for Brandon Atkinson. Every spot counts now with 16 laps to go. $14 to go for Brandon Elvis. He's opened that gap up to 2 seconds now. 2 seconds the difference for the 54 machine. It is smooth sailing as long as he does not see that caution flag. Brandon Atkinson in the 15 continuing to try and find a way around Easton Swain. All over the back bumper is the 15 of Atkinson. Just unable to get the run as of this moment. Out of turns 3 and 4 for Brandon Elvis, it's going to be 10 laps to go. Almost said halfway there. That would not have been good. Had a long way left to go. But 10 to go for Brandon Elvis. So we watch Matt Borndren looking to the inside of Carter Hollingsworth. Borndren to the inside. Ooh, Hollingsworth up into the wall. Borndren is going to take that spot away. Move Matt Borndren up into the 7th spot. Hollingsworth back to 8th. Now here comes Brandon Atkinson underneath Easton Swain. We've got 6 laps to go for Brandon Elvis. Brandon Atkinson trying to get some security points. Five to go for Elvis across the stripe that time. He is 2 seconds out ahead of Connor Knowlton. As long as we don't see the caution flag, it should be Brandon Elvis's race. But we continue to watch this battle for the 3rd spot. Atkinson's right there on the back bumper, but so far has not been able to peek to the inside. Justin Coleman is right there as well in the 5th spot. But for Brandon Elvis, he's got 2 victories this season, trying to make it 1 more. Popsicle sticks up in the air, 2 laps to go. Down into turns 3 and 4 this time. He will see the white flag. Final time around for Brandon Elvis. He knew exactly what he had to do coming into tonight. He had to get the pole, lead every lap, get as many points as possible if he wanted a shot at the title, and he did exactly that. It's going to be Brandon Elvis winning the season finale at Hickory. Elvis wins. Photo finish right there for 6th. Borndren going to take the spot from Grable at the line. And that is going to be it. The 54 machine of Brandon Elvis picks up the victory. And it is now time for us to try to, as quickly as we can, grab the final points so we can see who our champion is. Give me just one moment. We'll be back when we have the points on the WD Broadcasting Network. Alrighty, folks, we are back here on the WD Broadcasting Network, and we have our official points standings with 326 points. Your champion is going to be Brandon Atkinson in the 15 machine. He was able to fend off Brandon Elvis's charge. He was close. Elvis was very close, just 3 points shy of a championship here in the Leave the Pack Gauntlet Series. So Atkinson wins the championship. Elvis wins the race. It was the Brandon and Brandon show all season long. They won 5 races between the two of them. Let's grab a word from both of them, as well as the rest of our podium. Let's grab a word from our third place finisher first. We'll try and grab Easton Swain. Easton Swain up into the broadcast booth. Third place finish to round off the season here in the Gauntlet Series. How does it feel after 150 laps at Hickory?
Well, I think my right leg's cramping. I'll tell you what, that was a hard-fought battle there.
Yeah, it definitely looked like you earned that one. Atkinson was all over your tail trying to secure some extra points there to get the championship, and man, you did not let him get it. You held him off there. Looked like you were, looked like maybe he was going to get by you there. You got to your inside a couple times, but that outside lane just able to get the run up off, and you were able to hold that third spot here. I would imagine that your leg probably is cramping up. Mine, I'd say mine probably would be doing the same.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. I kind of was looking at the points, and I would have gave Atkinson that spot, or not maybe raced him quite as hard if that would have come down to the point he needed for the championship. But I think he sealed it up anyway. Not exactly sure, but either way, it's been a great season racing with all these guys. Congrats to him and Elvis and just all the Race Room 3 ECR guys. Got to thank Justin Coleman for making me this nice paint scheme. Looking forward to running it in the Super Series.
Yeah, Super Series coming up in about a month or so, under a month now. It's going to be pretty exciting. Glad to have you there, Easton. We'll see you in the Super Series, but congratulations to you on a podium here in the Leave the Pack Gauntlet Series season finale.
Thank you, Winston. I think I secured P3 there in the points, too, after this.
Yep, you did. Actually, let me verify. Yeah, you did. We were P3 coming in.
Oh.
We ended up P3.
All right.
There we go.
Well, as always, thank you, Winston, for putting this on. I'm looking forward to the Super Series.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. We will see you there, Easton. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too.
Yep. All right, we're going to grab a word from our second place finisher here tonight. Alrighty, Connor Knowlton up into the broadcast booth. Second place finisher here tonight. Started 7th, ended up P2. Tell me about your run.
Tight. Yeah, I wasn't really going anywhere in the middle of the run, and I had a bright idea. Crew chief told me we had a little bit extra fuel left over, so I came in, added a little bit of fuel, tried to get a little bit of weight on the rear. Yeah, really helped me out. Got me up to second, but I had no tire left to go hunt down Easton or Brandon up front. So it was a good run from us. I just tried to, be patient, but you can only be patient for so long. I had to get a little aggressive and really dive to the bottom, and I think that's really what hurt me. So there's a balance between saving and going. It was just a night of patience for sure.
Yeah, definitely have to be patient here at Hickory. We saw both lanes working all night long, and it kind of just depended on where your tires were and how you were running the line. Like you said, kind of running down on that bottom does tend to hurt the right front a little bit more, which I think is what you were lacking there to drive up to Brandon there at the end. But man, he was gone when you and Swain got side by side for the second spot.
Yeah, it was tough, and it was one of those things where if I sat back in third, I was going to stay third. If I went for second, I would have gotten the spot, but I think I knew that he was going to be gone anyway. It was just one of those kind of game day decisions where I had to go for it, and I had to try and make up as many spots as I could, and hopefully I still had enough left to try and hunt them down, but unfortunately I did not.
Yeah, it was still a good run for the number 2 machine, though. Ended up P2 here in the Super Late Models, which is a good build of momentum going into the Super Series at the beginning of December. Who do you have to thank, Connor, for a P2 finish here tonight?
I'd like to give a shout out to Just the Top Media, Justin Brooks Designs for this great wrap. You know, we got this car dusted off, ready to go, trying to get some laps on it before the Super Series starts. And big shout out to Elite Performance Industries as well.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Connor, on finishing out the season with a second place finish, and we wish you luck in the upcoming Super Series.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, we will grab a word from our winner here tonight before grabbing a word from our points champion, Brandon Atkinson. Wrong, Brandon. Alrighty, up in the broadcast booth, our winner here tonight, Brandon Elvis, up in the booth. You got a copy.
Hey, man.
Alrighty, well, winner here this evening, man, you put it to them here tonight. Qualified pole, led every lap. Didn't quite set the fastest lap. You didn't get that one, but you won the race here tonight in a dominating fashion.
Yeah, man, I feel like I did everything I needed to do to try to run an Atkinson there to win the championship. And it just, man, the car, I knew it was going to be tight, and clean air was going to be pretty paramount. So luckily I had it and they didn't tonight, really, you know.
Yeah, the clean air definitely made the difference here tonight. It looked a little bit easier to be out front than battling amongst everybody throughout the field. You were able to get the pole in qualifying, which solidified some extra bonus points, but just 3 points shy, man. Just to think of what could have been had maybe Atkinson qualified 5th or had you set the fastest lap. If those 2 things would have happened right there, Atkinson 5th, you get the fastest lap, you guys would have tied. So it was that close. You guys were that close all season long. But nothing to hang your head about, man. 150 laps out front, didn't make one mistake, left the field in the dust.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I feel like I did everything I was supposed to do tonight, at least. You know, I guess if we had a playoff system like NASCAR, I probably would have won the championship. But no, that's two seasons right here in a row with the TMSS stuff, and now the Gauntlet deal. I've won the most races and not won the championship, so I got to work on my consistency and start solidifying being in the top 5 every race. You know, and that's really what it takes. You know, he had looks like 2 more top 5s than I did. So, hey, that's probably what really made the difference was, yeah, that night that Atkinson and I come together, that was just unfortunate, and he felt bad about it. But I told him, I said, man, it was my fault. You know, I'm the one. I peeled off the wall, got loose off the wall, and kind of hit your right rear, and it just kind of hooked us, you know, with the modified, and it kind of came down to that, really, I guess, and just wasn't enough.
Yeah, it was still a good, enjoyable battle watching you guys go at it all season long, and it really did come down to the wire those final couple laps. So it was exciting to watch all season long. Who do you have to thank, Brandon, for a dominating victory here in the final race of the season?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank my wife for letting me do this. My mom and dad, I know they're watching. Coastal Performance. Really looking forward to the Super Series now that I finally got a super late model win in the LTP series. That's pretty big momentum going into that. So the open setup stuff, I think we've got a pretty good hold on it here lately. So maybe we can keep improving with that, and me and the guys can run good with that. But yeah, shout out to Coleman Design, giving us some really nice race cars to race in these series. That's really important to me when we have broadcasted races. Shout out to my team at ECR. Most of them here tonight, just missing Chris. He's probably watching or walking his goldfish. I'm not sure. But yeah, and just shout out to you for putting this league on and putting this broadcast on, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, this was definitely a fun season. It was different to see a lot of different cars, but all at Hickory. So it was a lot of fun. We got to see some great racing and got to see that 54 in victory lane 3 times. It was the Brandon and Brandon show all season long. So congratulations to you, Brandon Elvis, on your victory here tonight. And we wish you luck going into the Super Series.
All right, Winston. Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, and we will now grab a word from our points champion in the Leave the Pack Gauntlet series. It came down to the final race, and by 3 points, your points champion, Brandon Atkinson, up in the booth. You got a copy.
Oh wow, yes sir, Winston. That's a little tighter than I'd have liked it to be with a 25-point lead coming in, but I'm glad we were able to get it done there. That's been a hell of a season, fun.
Yeah, the drop weeks I knew were going to give, I think, Brandon 3 points off the bat, and then he did everything in his power to try and take it from you, but man, just 3 points. You were able to hang on. Ended up in the 4th spot here tonight. It looked very tough to pass all race long, and there towards the end, you had a moment there to where you got shuffled back into the 8th spot. Thinking about that now, knowing it was only 3 points, replay that moment in your head. What did you have to do to try and regain composure and get back up towards the front?
Well, I didn't know how tight it was going to be, so I never really was able to lose exposure or composure. Luckily, I did get a little heated a few times. We got our rear end jacked up a few times by the same guy, and then he came through and got a little 2-for-1. So he kind of cooked both of me and Easton's right rear tire there, and then we never got a caution to recover from it. And I think we were just as fast as everybody. I did all my best to save my right front and my right side tires and keep it turning. But I'm sure glad we were able to drop back to get back to 4th from 8th, because that would have definitely made the difference for Elvis, and hell of a job for him for, I think he put it on the pole and he won the race. So I mean, he did all he could. He's gotten me so much on bonus points this season, so he's done a hell of a job, and it's been fun racing with all these guys.
Yeah, it was definitely fun watching you guys race all season long, and like I said to Elvis, seeing all of the different cars, probably the ARCA car might have been my favorite, but seeing all these different cars at the Hickory Motor Speedway, really seeing everybody have to adapt week in, week out was a lot of fun. So congratulations to you, Brandon, on being the best of the best in the short track cars and picking up the championship in the Leave the Pack Gauntlet series. Before I let you go, who do you have to thank for a successful championship season?
Just thank everybody who lets me do this. Thanks my wife for letting me race, and thanks the boys at Trick Chassis for hanging out and always being a good time and having people to race around with. And thank you, Winston, for putting this on, and all the guys that have raced this season. It's been really enjoyable and really clean racing as well. So yeah, look forward to doing it again.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Brandon, on your championship here in the Leave the Pack Gauntlet Series. Hopefully we can see you in the Super Series in December. But until then, we congratulate you and wish you luck in your future races. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you very much, WD. Have a good night.
You too. Burn it down, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, that was Brandon Atkinson, driver of the 15 machine right there, burning it down as he is the official points champion for the Leave the Pack Gauntlet Series. Hoping there may have went the motor. He might have burned it down a little bit too much. So let's look at our final finishing results from tonight's race. Brandon Elvis, your winner. Connor Knowlton comes home second. Easton Swain third. Brandon Atkinson fourth. Justin Coleman 5th, Matt Bordrin 6th, Brian Gravel 7th, Carter Hollingsworth 8th, Adam Fulford 9th, Braxton Deweese 10th, Nick Giampa comes home 11th, Kyle St. Jean 12th, Kyle Heinzelman 13th, Zach Murphy 14th, and Steven Oberstadt rounds out the field in the 15th spot. So that is going to do it for us here tonight, folks. Thank you guys for tuning in all season long to the Leave the Pack Gauntlet Series. Hopefully we put on a good show for you guys. We are going to take a couple weeks off here on the WD Broadcasting Network and the Leave the Pack iRacing League, but we will be back December 2nd for the first race of the Leave the Pack Super Series. It's going to be a fun one. You will not want to miss that. And now that I'm thinking about it, not taking a big break on the WD Broadcasting Network, actually going to be back 2 nights from now, Thursday night, the All-American 100, the 30th running of the All-American 400, the online All-American 400. It's going to be a big deal event. There's 41 late model stock drivers registered for Thursday night. So if you didn't have plans already, now you do. We'll see you guys on Thursday. I'm your host, Winston Deal, signing it off. Peace out.